Good morning, everyone. So let's talk about how I am trying to remove the mold from inside of my house. It turned out to be quite a big problem on the outside because the ground or the dirt was on top of the walls from the outside and not beneath the foundations. So it pulled moisture directly into the walls, let's say, and created the mold on the inside. And of course, that happened on north side of the house where mostly rains and where is the most of the moisture. So that's perfect, yeah. So let me walk you on the inside and show you the damage, and then we'll talk about this project on the outside. Okay, so this is the northern side of the house where I was just showing you from the outside, and as you can see, this wall is a disaster. There is how it should look like, which is also not perfect, but when you compare this to this, you can see that there was parts of the wall falling, and that is just a mess all the way down there. And this is about the middle of the house. I think it's somewhere here. There is my toilet down there, and that is the end of the house. So the moisture is just, as you can see, it grows from, let's say, the middle. It rises to the end of the house, and that's what I will show you on the outside, which holds my story I think at last. So let's go back outside. So as you can see, what I was talking, there is, let's say that there is the middle of the house, like I showed you on the inside, and so there is the middle of the house, and I told you on the inside that the moisture grows going to the back of the house, and if you can see this white line going there, you can see that it also rises, and that line was dirt that was, I dug it now, of course that I didn't film it before, but you can imagine these tiles were all the way under the ground, and the ground was going like so. This was all under the ground. I dug, I don't know, about 10 wheelbarrows of the dirt, all just from here. And you can see, I will go there later, you can see in that corner that there are like some space here, but there is, my wall is just touching that corner, and you can see how much was under the ground. So the problem was when that dirt was touching this, like a decorative stuff, it was touching the walls, which you can see here. These are the foundations and this is the wall, and this is insulation between those two. And as you can see, there is here, it is above the ground, and there was ground was about there, so this was maybe okay, but it was not okay. There is also moisture, and as you can see, it's hard to show you, but there is that insulation, there is the wall, there's the line, there's the insulation, which was right now it is touching the dirt. You can see this, there's a bit that you can see, there's the insulation, this is the bricks connecting. So this, which I thought that was the line between the foundation and the walls, or the insulation line, it's not, it's actually deeper. And here I think that this is where that moisture is on the inside, and there also. If you can imagine, let me just a second, if you can imagine the toilet goes to there, this where the moisture is on the inside is all wet, even now when the dirt is dug. As you can see, this is wall, all under that decorative, and the wall is touching the ground. And also you can see here, see, this is also the wall. So it's quite bad, and I didn't even know that when I was buying the house. Maybe I wouldn't buy it after all, but here it is, and I have to deal with it. Now, coming to the front of the house, here is also a big mess. Now, here you can clearly see that this line is insulation line, which I can show you down there, and that line is high here, and this part of the house, let me show you, this part of the house is completely dry. There's the insulation line going there, and there even the flowers in the ground wouldn't grow too good because the dirt is so dry. So this part is fine, except for this hot mess going deep. But this is the condition of my foundation, so not so great, but it holds. So as I was saying, the insulation line goes there. Oh, this is my ground for the house, so yay, perfect. So insulation line goes there. There is my water line going inside the house, just above that insulation, and then my insulation is there, and then it goes somewhere about there, which is kinda under the ground right now. So I don't know who did this, but I have no words. There is the insulation, you can see there a bit, and the pipe is just above the insulation. So this corner of the house is just terrible. And here, where the insulation line was below the dirt, here we had, in this corner was a plant called yucca, I think. It has green leaves, and there goes stalk about 1.5 meters tall and has like white bells, flowers growing. Then there was giant rose, then there was also giant rose, and this was just a mess touching the house. And you can see that line, that darker line, was dirt. So basically this corner to, let's say, through there was also under the ground, and my walls were under the ground, and I had a lot of ants inside the house and a lot of mess. So now first step that I did was I dug all that dirt touching the walls, and as you can see, I made like a channel. Look at this, also there are some holes, and I dug that ground, that dirt, revealing that my main water pipe is there, which is not how you should do that, in my opinion. And so the next step that I will do is to continue digging that channel to make this drainage pipe go deeper in the ground, because you can see that the foundation is not ending there straight, is not going straight from the ground there. The foundation actually is, I don't know how to say it, it's spilled, the concrete is spilled over a bit, which is maybe good, maybe bad. I think it may be good because the foundation is wider, but I don't know really. So because that is the foundation, you can see that water can go from it to the ground on the outside, and here also. So my plan is to, on the outer side of that foundation, dug a channel and place this drainage pipe below that foundation, so that water can go from it into this drainage pipe. And then I bought this thing, which is Geotex. This is weed control fabric, but it is like a thin fabric that goes around the drainage pipes, which the water flows through it freely, but it holds like tiny particles of the dirt and sand, and these drainage pipes will not be clogged. So I will show you that. I think that is the right thing to do. I will wrap this pipe in that material, even lower the pipe more, and here it has to go a lot lower, and also it must have like it must be on a slope so the water can flow. There must be the highest part of the hose and going down and down there, and there I connected that hose to my roof drainage, which I recorded, luckily. So I have to remove these 4, I think, these tiles, and lower that hose deeper, wrap it, and then on top of that I will not leave it exposed like this. On top of that I will place like river rocks, which are about that size. You will see that also. I will place them on top and like make like a decoration also, and that rocks are like bigger size and they allow the rain to go through them easily, very easily, and go in that drainage hose. So I hope that now, since I did all that, I hope that my wall on the inside will kinda dry out and finally be above the ground and not pull the moisture from the ground. Also, there is, maybe I will do that. First, I was thinking about pressure washing this dirt just to clean that concrete beneath that dirt. It's a thin layer of dirt there. Under that is foundation, as you can see, rocks sticking there. I was thinking maybe pressure washing that. Maybe it is the easiest way to clean it. But first, I must lower that pipe so I can drain that water immediately. And of course wrap it, because if I pressure wash this, there will be a lot of tiny particles of the dirt, so I don't want it to clog my pipe. There's one thing I can do. Take a look at this also. There are some holes in this house, like deep holes. I think that they go through the whole wall. I don't know what to say. Other thing you can do is like remove some of that to kind of like cut not to cut this insulation, but to create a conical shape, let's say, going there, just to, if there is maybe someone, when they did that, maybe it was going around this insulation and touching the foundation and pulling through that, pulling the moisture inside. So you can just like physically separate the foundation from the walls. As maybe you can get a better picture here. You can see that this decorative piece kind of goes around that, over that insulation. So I think I will have to cut this and remove that part. But also, as you can hear, this is knocking on the wall, this is knocking on this decorative. You can hear it is hollow, which you can also see here that is separated, so that can easily fall off. It won't be the problem. But I was thinking going all the way around and kind of physically separate the wall from the foundation and expose this insulation, and maybe stuff it, if it's necessary, stuff some insulation material inside to make it better. So that's my plan for now. We'll see what happens next. It is a bit windy, so sorry for that. Yesterday I was talking about how I have mold problem inside my house, and yesterday was 27th of September 2025. Today is 28th of September. So yesterday I showed you the channel that I dug, but it was very shallow. So that was yesterday morning. So yesterday the whole day, I guess it was about 7 hours of digging, pulling dirt from the channel, removing those tiles at the end, removing dirt. It was a mess. But still, it looks like there is a slope going from here to there, but unfortunately it is pretty level. So yesterday I pressure washed this concrete, and that water fell down in that channel, and still it, as you can see, didn't quite run away. It held here, and that's why this is like a fine dirt. But I discovered a problem. So I think that majority of the problem was that the dirt was going straight from here to this line on the wall, and dirt was touching the walls and pulling the moisture on the in the walls. But I have another problem. So I thought that this concrete, which goes all the way around the house, was built originally when the foundation was built, but the more I look at it, the more I think that it wasn't, and I think that it was addition to the house. Why? I don't really know. I don't understand, because it was done so poorly that it actually did damage. So let me show you why I think that. So first, what I discovered is this concrete patch with this rebar. I have that in my yard also, and I thought that it was like a later job to, I don't know, hold some plants or something. And then, as you can see, this concrete going around the house goes over that patch. So that tells me that this is newer. And also this decoration that goes around the house, you can see what it looks like, and you can see that concrete is over that also. But here you can see that insulation between the foundation and the walls. So next problem is, if we go towards the front of the house, this is where mold problem starts. Inside you can still see that insulation, you can see brick wall, and then if we go there you can see the insulation, but you can see it here also, this black, but you can see also that this concrete is rising and it starts to go on the walls, over the walls, and you can also see around the whole house that there was like, it's not touching it, you can see that there was like some film or something placed on the foundation, and then concrete was poured over it. And if we go few centimeters there. You can see that this is brick wall and there's the concrete over that wall, and this part is like a hill. You can't see that insulation from, let's say, here to the end at all. So by looking at these few things, I can say that it is obviously an addition to the house. You can see here that it was like something inserted, then this concrete was poured over. And here is also, there's my insulation line, and it disappears. There you can see it a bit, and then in the corner there's nothing at all. So I think that it was a good thing that I pressure washed this, because I got a picture of what's wrong, but I think that I will have to remove this part of the concrete and maybe add some channels going to the drainage pipe, so that this water, rain falling there, can drain easily to the drainage pipe. Because in my opinion, if I don't do that, I did all that digging for nothing, because the water still can go from this concrete directly on top of the insulation or directly on my floor inside the house and the walls, and it's still a mess. So next thing that I will try to do is maybe bring back some of the dirt to create a slope from there to here, so the water drains easily inside the drainage pipe. So there is my insulation line beneath all that concrete, which is perfect, just perfect. But I will have to do some more, so that concrete is lower than that insulation line, just so the water can go somewhere. There are also some roots, so yes, that is just perfect. Look at that. So this is what it looks like after removing the concrete. I exposed the insulation, so now the water can freely go from the walls down into the ground. And you can see that basically the whole length, you can see now the insulation. There is hole also in this part, so yeah, whoever did this concrete only did damage to the whole house, so that's it. So this is my drainage pipe from around the house that I will connect to this pipe, and that pipe is connected to the drainage from the roof. And I dug that about 2 years ago. I dug the channel in the ground and placed that pipe, and now it's the perfect opportunity, because I have it already, to connect my other drainage pipe. So what I have to do is, I have this coupling, which usually pipes go inside, but it's a perfect fit inside my drainage pipe, and it will go like that. Next, I will have to cut this pipe and connect these two pieces. I have this Y connector that will go around there, then this coupler which will go about here, and from this piece that I will cut out, I will use to connect this. So let's see how we will do that. Okay. Bear in mind that I kinda don't have experience doing this, so this all will be some kind of improvisation, but I think we will manage to do that. So first of all, what I will do is align these two. My pipe will be about there, and I will move this up and down until I find the sweet spot, and that, as I can see, is around there. So I want this let's say female part of this coupler to go about until there in this pipe. So I think I want this to cut here so we can slide it around. Now let's check again. Now I don't have right tool, but I have my branch saw, so I will try to cut it with this one. I should dig more ground. Yeah. Now let's see if my saw will make it. Alright, that was perfect. Now here comes the tricky part, in my opinion. How much do I have to cut off this pipe? So what I think I will do is this coupler will slide on about here. This coupler has to connect these two pieces, and I will have to firstly slide it, I guess, all the way on this part, and then slide it back on this part. So I think I basically have to cut it where this part ends. Let's see, I cut it there, I slide this all the way here, then I insert this piece and slide this one back. Maybe a bit more, because I will have to slide this one. So let's say if I cut it here, I slide it there and back, I still have enough to connect. Okay, so let's do it. Maybe this is that much, maybe around here. There. Okay, let's see. Let's move this ground. And there we go. Oh, and this is, of course, where does it say? Of course, it's Parkside. Now, to easily slide the coupler on, I will sand the edges, basically like this, to make them conical shape. Now it is a lot easier if you use some kind of lubricant on these. I have WD-40. Let's spray it here, like so, and here, like so, and even on this pipe. You see how easy it goes now. Except for this part, but I think I will manage to do it. Now let's clean this one and sand the edges. Okay. Now to lubricate also this part. Like so. Now, perfect. Let's move this. Now let's see if I did all that correctly. So basically this part is all the way in, let's say until about there. This pipe came where the rubber starts, so about there. So it means that I have this much to couple these two, which I think it will be perfect. So what I have to do is slide this one back. Now this rubber is working against me because I'm pulling it backwards, but I thought I lubricated it enough, which I obviously didn't. It's even better if you use some kind of grease. There we go. I think it's well deep inside, about here, and it is a sturdy connection, so I think that will be fine. And now the only thing left to do is I have this cutout left from here. Which is about perfect length. It could be shorter, but yeah, it could be a lot shorter. Let's trim it down a bit. See if I can do it like this. Yeah, like that wasn't dangerous at all. Now to file the edges. Now let's lubricate. This side we already did, but never mind. Let's lubricate this side, like so. Let's see. That goes like that, and this goes like so. And this coupler has like an offset, so I will keep this part on the bottom. Now all that's left to do is connect this drainage pipe like so, turn this down, and there you go, perfect connection. So this is what it looks like when it's finished, and I have to say that my wife and I think that it turned out very beautiful and we love it. Oof, it's so nice, look at that. So beautiful.